foam at the mouth, unlike Holler and Hank. "Come on, Hank," I heard Dad coaxing while I edged past Principal Bertram B. Woolsey, who I thought should have done something more than bite his neatly manicured nails. And pushing farther through the crowd, I heard a lot of parents and other fans muttering about why a foul-mouthed blowhard continued to be allowed to work with kids. Sentiments I knew they'd forget when the Stingers won yet another state championship trophy for our school's already full case. "I think that's enough now," Dad added. "Enough." But Holler and Hank wasn't done yet. In fact, he spun around and confronted my father, actually drawing back his fist. I knew my dad could fight his own battles. His conflicts with Mr. Kildare were pretty much the stuff of legends. And, more to the point, I was only 5'2" and weighed about 100 pounds, despite a steady diet of cheeseburgers and Little Debbie products. But without even thinking, I dropped everything and started to run to my father's aid. Before I could get there, though, the new quarterback, Chase Albright, stepped in. Wrapping his hand around Coach Kildare's big forearm, he stopped what had seemed like an inevitable punch. The two guys stood there for a long time, Chase's obscenely perfect, thick, dirty blonde hair riffling in the breeze, while everybody else seemed to suck in a collective nervous breath. Even the cheerleaders stopped chattering for once. I glanced at the sidelines and saw that Viv was clutching her shivering pom-poms to her locally legendary cleavage and glaring at Mr. Kildare like she hoped for a fight, one that would result in the coach getting his butt kicked to the grass. I also caught a glimpse of my French teacher, Mademoiselle Lois Beamish, who was pressing her hands to her also large but somehow not as attractive chest, as though she was terrified for Chase, her prize student. And I once again thought, ugh, she has a crush on him. Then I returned my attention to Chase, who was saying something to Coach Kildare, although so quietly that I couldn't hear a word. But whatever he uttered, it made Mr. Kildare's face fade from crimson to pink, and his hands fall to his sides. I stared at Chase, a mysterious, reportedly uber-rich kid who'd transferred from some pricey academy that nobody seemed quite able to pinpoint, wondering, what are you, a crazy coach whisperer? Honestly, it seemed possible, because the next thing I knew, Holler and Hank pulled free of Chase and addressed Mike in a brusque but civilized tone. "Price, you're benched." Then, as Mike sat down to sulk, Mr. Kildare and my dad exchanged some gruff coaching-type words, and the game got underway again, as if nothing had happened. Retrieving my stuff from the ground and brushing a footprint off my notebook, I climbed into the bleachers, trying to pay more attention so I'd at least have something for the Honeywell High Gazette. But my mind kept wandering, and as the fourth quarter drew to a close, I found myself doodling a picture of the heavy-set, universally despised coach with a knife in his chest and X's for eyes, next to the word inevitable. And just to pass the time, I inked a list of suspects, if the murder ever really did happen. Dad, it's true, wants that head coach glory. Mike Price, disgraced football hero, probably losing chance for scholarship. Mike's parents, soon paying a lot of money for college for meathead son. I glanced again at the sidelines, where Viv had resumed hopping around with a